Hello,
Hello?
Deepak, are you there?
Yeah, man, I'm there. I can hear you.
Okay, is my voice is clear?
Yeah.
All right, okay, great. So
Just want to know, is there any kind of echo that's coming on?
from my side,
No, no, from my side when I speak.
no, not really.
Perfect.
Okay, so a very good morning, everyone.
Wait. I haven't started the broadcast yet. I
It's
mean,
already,
we
it
are
is,
off air. We are off air till now. Do you
I
want me
believe
to
it
start?
is. I think it is already broadcasting. It's already live, Deepak.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably, if you want to, you can log in from your own account. It's not going to be a problem, I think. Are you going to use the same account, Deepak? Deepak, are you there?
Yes, someone I'm here.
Okay, are we good to go?
Yep.
All right then. So let's get started. A very good morning, everyone. And this is Aman Sharma from All India Oracle Users Group and from AIOUG-North India Chapter team. Welcome to all of you for this particular webinar that we are going to be doing today. And this particular webinar is going to be hosted by AIOUG. A little bit brief about AIOUG. We are the All India Oracle Users Group for. Hi, Rohan. Okay, are we good to go?
Yep.
All right then. So let's get started. A very good morning, everyone. And this is Aman Sharma from All India Oracle Users Group. And was there an echo? I believe.
Aman, there is not an echo, but I think the voice is being repeated again and again after an interval of 5-10 seconds.
Okay. Could you log out, Deepak, and could you log in from your own account?
Sure, I'm gonna do that. Hello?
Hello, Deepak.
Hey, Abu. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
So is my voice is clear, Deepak?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We can see you. Probably you can broadcast your webcam so that people can see that you are here.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So are we good to go, Deepak?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. So a very good morning from AIOUG, All India Oracle Users Group, and All India Oracle Users Group's North India chapter. My name is Aman Sharma, and I will be your host for this webinar. And this webinar is going to be in the series of the webinars which the North India chapter of AIOUG does, on a scheduled basis. And this is going to be the 8th webinar that we are actually doing. This is going to be presented by Deepak Sharma, who is a a member of AIOUG-North India chapter's core team. Been with the North India chapter for almost the entire time since it has started. One of the key members, and also is a regular presenter in various events, either monthly tech meets or on the webinars. Deepak is working in a company based out of Chandigarh at the moment, with the head offices across over the globe. And Deepak is working in the enterprise manager domain, which is popularly known as now with the latest release as cloud control. And for the rest of the part, I will be handing over to the Deepak to introduce himself as well as to introduce about the topic and about the presentation. So, Deepak,
Yeah.
all right, Deepak. So all yours.
Okay. I'll just share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see.
Sure.
All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it is coming. It has gone now. Right. It is there. It is gone.
Is it there now?
Yes, it is. It is gone.
Gone again.
Yep. It's like flashing. It's coming and going. Yeah, it is here, and it is gone again. You can just possibly full screen it, Deepak. I think that would be a better idea rather than just having the entire slides open. It would be better if you can make it full screen, because I can see it in your name and I can see that you are switching the screens. But
Okay. Let me share the full screen. Okay. Which screen is visible to you now?
not yet.
I'm not getting into the option to share the entire screen. Is screen one or screen two? That's it.
Maybe you can try showing that presentation screen only. Then no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it is there, but it is something we can see the slides, and now it is gone again.
Is it there now?
Yeah, it is. It's gone again. Maybe you're switching it too quickly, actually,
I finally selected the screen to manage the slides up there. Just let me
but
know.
it is not showing actually. It is coming up, flashing, and going.
I'm good to go now.
Yes, it is again gone. It is flashing and going. I don't know why it's not actually sticking permanently. I can see it in your login screen that it is there, but okay, I think it is here now.
Yeah, should be
Yeah.
good. All right, a very good morning to all our attendees, who are attending this webinar. My name is Deepak Sharma, and I'll be giving a webinar on managing and monitoring best practices using EM12C Cloud Control. So before we begin, a little bit information about myself. I'm working as a senior DBA for over 5 years. I've worked on the technologies like 11G grid control, and currently I am handling the 12C cloud control in my company. Besides that, I worked on Oracle Configuration Manager, and I am a PeopleSoft admin as well. I handle some of the part of PeopleSoft and some SQL Server stuff. I'm Oracle Certified Professional, and as Suman said, I'm the core team member of North India chapter, which we started almost like 16 months back in last February, and I'm the active speaker of AIOUG-North India chapter. Uh, a disclaimer just to put a bit of humor, the all tips and recommendations and the ideas which I'm going to be sharing in this presentation, they are just gathered from, the reading, exploring the stuff over the internet, and I still consider myself a B plus student, but at best. All right, introduction, what we are gonna, study in this webinar. We know that EM12C Cloud Control, it can not only manage your application, however, it can also manage all the infrastructure across your IT stack. Monitoring your environment ensures that no component goes unwatched. But of course, if we want to set up a complete monitoring environment, our main motto is to make sure that we monitor everything. And how this can be done? It can be done through events, it can be done through matrices, incidents in the enterprise manager. Using this, we get a comprehensive picture of our environment at any point in time. And what the best practice is going to be in this webinar, we're going to study about metric thresholds, monitoring templates, administration groups, template collections, synchronization schedules, and incident manager. What are the metric thresholds? The metric thresholds, they are the main features when we talk about monitoring. If we have the metric threshold set correctly, then EM makes sure that all the alerts which we get, they are good, they are not fake. Metric thresholds makes us proactive to identify issues and address them in timely manner. As I said, in case the metric thresholds are set wrongly, then you will be getting the fake alerts and the actual monitoring is not going to be done. EM12C contains multiple types of matrices, which we're going to see in next coming slides. What is the metric thresholds configuration? Metric thresholds are configured in such a way that the notification can be sent via an email to an administrator. The level of severities, if we talk about, they can be a warning metric threshold and a metric threshold for critical conditions. The important components should be listed before defining your thresholds. It can be any of the target. It can be a database, it can be a file system, can be a host, listener, etc. How we do that? Symmetric threshold practical is there. To view all the matrices of a database, how you gonna do? You're gonna log into your cloud console and you're gonna navigate to a database. So let's say in my example, I'm into a database with the name PATST. On the very left side, there is a drop down which says Oracle Database. So I have to click on Oracle Database, navigate to monitoring, and there I have all matrices. So if you click on all matrices, you will get a list of all the matrices which are there for that target. So in this slide, you can see on the left panel, there is a list of matrices, alert log status, and all of them. So when you click off any of the matrices on the right hand side, it's gonna give you detail of that. In this slide, you can see the dump area use percentage is given. What are the key points to remember? The threshold value should be obtained by gathering data during performance or the load testing. As I mentioned earlier as well, it's very important that you set the correct metric thresholds if you do not want the fake alerts from the cloud control. Define matrices for availability of a target such as database instance. In case your database is down, the cloud control gonna throw you an alert. Value for critical thresholds should be chosen conservatively. How to set metric thresholds. In this example, I'm going to show you how you can configure a metric threshold for tablespace full alert. So as I said, on the left hand side, you will be getting a list of all the matrices. So what you have to do, you have to click on the tablespace full. And when you expand the tablespace full, you will get in with two different matrices. One is the tablespace free space in MBs, and the second one is tablespace space used in percentage. So on the right hand side, you can see you are getting an option, a button to modify. So if you want to modify the value, you have to click on modify. So I have here in the next slide selected tablespace use percentage. And if I move my cursor here, you can see the modify threshold button is there. Currently, it's going to show you what are the critical and the warning thresholds which are already there. So if you want to modify them, you have to click on the modify threshold button. What is the better approach? The one by one method is the easiest way to set for a single target. Yes, of course. If I have to set a metric for any particular target, I would prefer going through the UI. But what if I want to set the threshold for 100 databases, let's say? It will be difficult for me to navigate to each database every time and modifying its threshold. It will be a very time-consuming task. So recommendations are the monitoring templates, which we're going to study next. What are the monitoring templates? Monitoring templates is nothing but a collection of metric thresholds for a specific target. Example, a monitoring template can be created for a production database instance in which I can include few matrices. Like in this example, I just want to include 4 of the matrices. It can be table space use percentage, the archive area space used, dump area use, and the status of the database instance. So what I can do, if I want to implement these 4 matrices on, let's say, 100 databases, I would prefer creating a monitoring template and implementing it to all the targets. What are the key points if we talk about the monitoring templates? Monitoring templates standardize your monitoring setting. Yes, of course, because if you want to create a monitoring template, the same settings going to be implemented on all of your targets for a particular target type. Separate monitoring templates can be created for each target type. The metric thresholds in your environment should not be fine-grained. It should not be, too specific that you are actually able to monitor only few targets. Like you should be creating a different monitoring template for your production and your non-production environment. So It should be as per your requirement. Do not gratuitously create more templates than you need. Very true, because the more and more templates you're going to create, you have to manage them as well, which will increase your work. Practical of monitoring templates. To create a monitoring template, what you have to do, you're going to log into Cloud Console, and then we have to navigate through enterprise monitoring and monitoring templates. Let me show you in the next slide. So once we log into the cloud control, you're going to click on enterprise and monitoring. Under monitoring, we have monitoring templates. So once you click on monitoring template, you will be navigated to the home page of monitoring templates. Here you can see I have highlighted two of the buttons. One option you have create like, and the other option you have for create. You can see in the slide there are already some of the templates which are listed and being implemented. So if you already have a template and you want to, create a clone of that, you can click on create like, or if you want to create a new template, simply click on create button. So if I click on create button, I will be navigated to the next screen, which will give me an option to select a target. So you can see there are two options, two radio buttons. One is the target and the other is the target type. So which concludes that if I want to create a template for, let's say, database instance, I would go for a target type. But if I have a target which whose matrices I want to copy, so I will select a target and I will search for that target. So here you can see I can select the target type and the target name and click on select. So as you click on select, it will inherit all the matrices which that target is having. So on the very first step, I have to give the name and the description of the template which I'm going to create. And in the second tab, you can see we have metric thresholds. So when I click on metric thresholds, I will be listed with all the matrices. Those were already set for a particular target that I have selected. So if you want to change any of the values, you can do that. And later on, click on OK. So once you click on OK, your monitoring template is successfully created. What are the tips and tricks when we are managing the monitoring templates? The collection schedule is another important point because we already done with the matrices. We have created the metric monitoring template now. So what would be the collection schedule? Collection schedule can be modified to meet the operational goals. If you want the test or the cloud control to run the test every 15 minutes or say 30 seconds, you have to accordingly set the collection schedule. If any matrix is changed in the monitoring template will have to be reapplied. A very important point. If any of your team members, let's say by mistake, changed the matrices, you know, then you have to reapply that monitoring template. If you're not going to do that, this it will be the same old matrices which Enterprise Manager Cloud Control will be considering. If metric threshold values are changed for a specific target, the changes are not synchronized to the monitoring templates. Very true, because you have not made changes in the template itself, however, you have made the change in the target. The next thing we're going to talk about is administration groups. Administration groups, what it does, it automates the management and monitoring of targets by applying matrices. And how that is done? In administration groups, the members are dynamically added based on the global properties which we define. So any target, which matches the property that you have defined, they meet the criteria, they are automatically added to the administration group. How we should plan the hierarchy? Planning the hierarchy is the very first thing you should keep in your mind before proceeding with the administration groups. Hierarchy consists of a logical divided targets arranged in one or more level. I'll show you in the next slide. The third thing is hierarchy gonna based on the global target properties. Plan hierarchy to be the line with your organizational, operational, and monitoring standard. By this, I mean to say, let's say if I have a system admin teams who are handling some of the servers and some of them are handled by the DBAs. So I'm gonna include this thing in my hierarchy. I'm gonna create two separate nodes. What gonna be for the system admins and the second gonna be for the DBAs, in which they will be having only those targets which the individual team wants to monitor. Hierarchy example, let's say we want to create two groups, one for production and the other for non-production. Now how this can be done? It can be done based on a property which is life cycle status. The further level of the group decides on any of the below mentioned target properties. It can be either the department, you can set either the line of business, location, contact, etc. So the level of hierarchy gonna be decided on the number of properties you set, and how many leaf nodes it will be having will be decided on the values you're gonna decide for a particular property. It will be more clear in the example I'm going to show you in the next slides. So here you can see I have one administration group and I have created two subgroups of that. One is the system admin and the one are the DBAs. Now again, under system admin, I have a non-production production group, and the same is there for the DBAs as well. So you can see I am this is a two-level hierarchy. I have first level is at the system admin DBAs and the second is the testing and non-production. So how many target properties are involved in this example? Only two. Key points. There can be only one administration group in the hierarchy. You cannot create multiple administration groups. A target can belong only to a single group hierarchy. For example, let's say I have a production host which is managed by the sysadmin, so it cannot be there in any circumstances under the DBA node. One target can only exist under one node. A target cannot be directly added into a group. As I said, the targets will be added once you set their properties. Once the global properties which are specified for the administration groups are set, the target going to be automatically fall under a particular node. Target properties can be set at either the target discovery or at the promotion time. However, if the properties that can be set through console can also be set through EMCLI, the Enterprise Manager Command Line Interface, using the set target property value parameter. So there are two ways. Either you can use the GUI or you can use the command line as well. The tips and tricks. You can associate the monitoring templates to individual groups. You can also add multiple monitoring templates all together and associate them into a template collection. What is the template collection? We're going to study in the next slides. Order in which template collections are applied is important. Template collections at a leaf level override the matrices from the parent level. Very true. Let's say in this example, if I have a template that is being applied on a test, and if I have a different template that is being applied at the DBA level, so the matrices at the DBA level, they're going to override the ones which are individually specified at the test node. Template collections from the parent levels are propagated to their respective subgroups. This we already this point is already clear from the last point. Implementing hierarchy, how we gonna implement the hierarchy? Log into the cloud control, and then on the right hand side of the screen, you're gonna have a setup drop down just before to your own username. So click on the setup, and the very first option you have is add targets. Click on administration groups under add targets. It will navigate to the main home page of the administration groups and the template collections. Here you can see we have four different tabs. One is overview, the second is hierarchy, then we have template collections, and the fourth one is association. So click on hierarchy and it will show you the screen which I have currently. Here you can see on the left panel I have two different sections. One is the hierarchy level and the other is hierarchy nodes. As I already said, the level's gonna be decided by the number of properties, and the hierarchy of the nodes gonna be decided value of the property. So I have highlighted a department in this, and you can see for department I can have two different values. It can be either a system admin or it can be DBA. So based on that, my first hierarchy level is set. Then I have a second value which is lifecycle status. So for lifecycle status, see we have two further different nodes. One is the test and one is the production. So the number of properties is increasing the level of hierarchy. However, the number of value for a property is increasing our hierarchy horizontally. So I highlighted the lifecycle status, and for that it has shown me there are two different values. One is the test and one is the production. Using this option, you can just view your hierarchy in different manner. First can be horizontal, it can be in a tree structure, it can be in a graph mode. Whatever you want, you can view. Next, we're gonna talk about how we're gonna join the targets with the administration groups. So we have created the administration groups. What would be the next step? It's gonna be adding the targets under specific nodes. This screen shows all targets. How this is achieved, you've just log into the cloud console, and under the targets drop down on the left hand side, you have the all targets. You click on all targets, it will give you all the targets those exist in your cloud control. If you want to see what are the properties you can set, you can click on view, and in the columns it will list all the properties which you can set for a target. So currently there are only four properties which are visible: the target name, target type, target status, and is the activation pending yet or not. So if I click on target properties for any particular target, it will show me two different things. First, it's gonna show me the properties which I have to set in order to put that target under the administration group hierarchy. And it's the second, in the table you can see the properties which are already set. So in this you can see there are the three mandatory properties. First, department, lifecycle status, line of business. You have to set these three properties if you want this target to automatically fall under the administration group hierarchy. So what I have done, I have set the department to DBA, I have set the lifecycle status to production as it's my production database, and I have set the line of business to a high jump application. So automatically this particular database is going to be fall under the high jump node, under the DBA department, and under the production. What are template collections? Template collections are used to provide a consistent set of matrices to a group of similar targets. Let's say if I have created a monitoring template for a host, for a database instance, and let's say for agent. And I want all these three monitoring templates to be all together applied to all the production targets. How I can do that? I can put that under a one single template collection, and I can apply that template collection to the administration group. Templates are created by target types. We have already studied that. Monitoring templates are bundled together to form a template collection. I just told you. A very important point to note is the separate template collection is recommended for each node in a hierarchy. Very true. I have two different nodes in my previous example. One is for production and the second one was for the test environment. So I cannot have the same matrices for test as well as for production. How to create a template collection. In order to create a template collection, log into the Cloud Control and navigate through Setup, Add Targets, and Administration Group. Let me show you in the next screen. So I logged in, and on the top right corner next to my username I have setup. Click on Setup and then Add Target, and under Add Target we have Administration Group. So once I click on administration groups, again, it will navigate me to the main home page for the AG and TC. We have already done with the second tab, that was hierarchy. What is the next is the template collection. So we click on third tab, template collection, and it will show you if already you have any of the template collections which are created. So if we want to create a new, click on create. That's here's the tab. The important point to make sure while creating a template collection is you have to make sure you already have the monitoring templates created, which you have to add under the template collection. Associating a template collection with a node. How we can do that? Click on the association tab to associate template collection with a node in the hierarchy. Important point, all the targets which are the member of the nodes as well as the targets in the subgroup will inherit the matrices of the template involved. I'll explain it better in the next slide. Make sure that the keyword valid association is there if you want to verify whether the template is implemented or not. So here I am on the home page and I've clicked on the association, which is the fourth tab. I have taken two different examples. I have selected the system admin, and when I selected, I didn't get any of the pop-up which I did when I clicked on DBA, which clearly says that there is no template associated with the system admin group. However, when I just highlighted the DBA group, it gives me a pop-up which gives me the name of the template collection that is associated. So here you can see the template collection DBA target template is associated with the DBA group. And when you're gonna click it, it's gonna give on the state of the template collection. So it says valid association. It means the template collection DBA target template is associated with all the targets which are there under the DBA leaf node. Finding an unassigned target, of course, there are gonna be thousands of targets under your cloud control, and there can be possibility that some of the targets are left unassigned. How we can check that? We can do that when we click on the association tab. When you click on association tab, on the left hand side we have the actions button. So if you click on actions, you will get unassigned target report. So this unassigned target report will list all the targets which are not associated, which are with any of the leaf nodes in your template administration group hierarchy. So if I click on it, I will get all the targets. See, it's clearly visible. If I take the example of this database instance, sorry, PLM dev, only the property department is set. Life cycle status and the line of business are not set, they are empty. And what was the mandatory condition for the administration group hierarchy? It was we have to set these three properties if we want the target to be added under the administration group hierarchy. So for PLM dev, we only have the department. We do have to set the lifecycle status and the line of business. Only then this database instance is going to be shown under the administration group hierarchy. Synchronization schedule. We are done with matrices, then we have created the monitoring template, then we were done with template collections, administration groups. So the next point comes as synchronization the schedule. We have to make sure that the template collections are synchronized and they are being applied to all the new targets which are added timely. So in case of the pending synchronization options, the synchronization schedule comes into picture. The pending operations, like if you have made any changes in the monitoring template, which is a part of template collection, then you have to synchronize it with all the targets. Which means if there are any modification done to a template collection that is associated with the administration group, synchronization have to take place. Global synchronization schedule. How this is done? Again, all this thing comes under the administration group homepage. We'll select the association tab and then we have click synchronization schedule. Click on associations. Then here you can see just next to the highlighted administration group, we have a synchronization schedule tab. I apologize, it's not clear in this picture. So once you click on a synchronization schedule, it will pop up a new window where the time and the time zone and the frequency is mentioned. So you can set the synchronization schedule as per your operational needs. You can set the frequency either to 1 day, or if the changes are not done frequently, you can either set to on a 7 day as well. Once the changes are done, just save it, and as per the time set, the synchronization will occur. The very last and important point comes the incident manager. So till now we were doing all the things because we want to be notified, right? We want to set templates, we want to set matrices because we want our targets to be monitored. And how they are monitored? They are being monitored using the incident manager. Incident manager is a notification module. It notifies us in a different way. Can be an email, can be a pager that is sent to the DBAs. If an operation occurs which are of interest, they will be addressed as needed using incident manager. So if any of the incident occurs, you're being notified, you can address that, you can work on that through incident manager. Incident Manager also makes us aware of impending problems and resolving them before they are turned into disasters. Of course, you are going to be reported, let's say, for a particular file system, you're going to be reported for a warning as well. Before your drives get full, you're going to be notified for the warning threshold. Again, we're going to see that it will be listed under the Incident Manager window. How Incident Manager helps us? It helps us through events, through incidents, Problems, rules, and the rule sets. What are events? Event means the discrete occurrence of any target which is being monitored. Example, my listener goes down, or a file system space fills up, or any of the scheduled job is either stopped or completed or it's failed. All these things are the events, and we want to be notified for them if any of the things occur. What is an incident? Incident is a set of one or more correlated events. Example, an incident represents occurrence of a significant disruption of a service which requires your attention. It specific actions which can be taken on an incident, you can either track that, you can either assign an incident to the concerned person who's gonna resolve the issue, or you can also escalate the issue. Example of the incident. This is my incident manager window. How I'm going to reach to here. I'm going to log into the cloud control, and under the very first drop down on the left top panel, enterprise, you click on that and we have under monitoring incident manager. I click on incident manager and it will show me all the incidents which have occurred till now. It will also show me what is the status of that incidents. Are they new? Are already being some action taken? What is the priority? Who was the owner who acknowledged it? Everything. If you want to check the details of any incident, just click on it. If you click on it in the below panel, you will be notified with all the details. So here you can see this is the backup space alert that has been provided. It says the backup space left is only 19.68%. How is it being tracked? Yes. Was this ever acknowledged? No. So you can acknowledge it, you can work on it to resolve this issue. So all the actions, all the monitoring is done through Incident Manager. What are the problems? Problems are actually the source or the root cause which actually caused your incident to occur. Problem can be anything that causes an interruption or degradation of a service. Very true. It can be the network is gone, it can be a power failure, it can be anything. A very important point to remember, effectively managing incident helps us to achieve better operational efficiency and take control of overall health of our system. Very true. If all the incidents which occur are being monitored, are being reportedly timely, and the responsible person is taking control, taking actions over them and resolving them, then I think our environment's system's gonna be very healthy. This example gives you a better picture for events, incidents. In this, you can see on the bottom, we have some hosts, we have some databases, some application servers, and some applications as well. So what would be the event? Event can be a metric alert, it can be a job, it can be a compliance violation, or some other events. And what the incident gonna be created, it can be a performance issue, it can be a space issue, or the target availability issue. So this picture gives a better understanding of how events and incidents are differentiated from each other. The last and the very important point comes the rules and the rule set. What are the rules? If we talk in our general life as well, rules are some points, rules which are made to be implemented, right? To let's say to make anything in a perfect manner, we create some rules. We create some discipline rules. So the same thing is there for the enterprise manager as well. We create some rules for the incidents that happen. If any incident happen, okay, this is the action that gonna be performed. So rules tells us the action or the actions that has to be performed when any event or incident meets a certain criteria. It can be a sending an email, it can be a opening a service desk ticket, escalating any issue, or generating another incident. Different actions can also be performed on warning and critical events. Let's say I just want to be send an email if a warning threshold is breached. However, if a critical threshold breaches, I want the DBA to be notified through a pager. So I can create a rule for that. Rule types, there are three types of rules which we can create: event rule, incident, and the problem rule. Important. I have not discussed this topic in depth because rules and rule type, it's a very deep topic, and you can just go through the books and you can study it in detail if you want to implement them in your environment. It's just an overview which I have covered in these slides. Important point to remember is the groups and the systems should be used as the target for the rule set. Oracle recommends to use administration groups. It will enable the rules to be applied automatically to new targets as they are added under AG. Of course, administration groups, like after from 12C, AG's administration groups, they are come into picture. Before this, we used to have a uh, normal groups in which we have to add the targets manually, and then everything has to be applied on the individual targets. However, now we create administration groups, we set the properties, targets are added, and everything is being applied to the administration groups. Once it's applied on the AG, it will automatically get applied to all the targets, whether it's a template collection, whether it's association of any template collection or the rules. I would say that administration groups have made our life very easier for a DBA. Example of a rule set: log into the cloud console, and top right corner under the setup we have incident, and under incident we have incident rules. So you click on incident rules and you'll be navigated to the home page. Here you can see I have some list of rule sets which are created for my production targets and for my non-production targets. So if you click on any of the rule set, it will further show you the different type of rules which exist under that rule set. So I have a rule set for creating an incident for critical alerts. I have also a rule set for clearing the alerts which are older than 7 days. So in this manner, you can create multiple rule sets and you can apply them to the administration groups. If you have to click on a rule set, we have a create rule set button over here. You click on it, you'll get to the next screen where you have to specify the name and apply. Either you're going to apply these to jobs, your metric extensions, or to the targets. So select as per the requirement and click on save. So you click on save, the rule set is created. A very common error which is being notified is the metric collection errors. Metric collection errors occurs most of the time when any of the configuration which you have set for a target to be monitored is either changed. In this example, I have taken example of DBSNMP user, which is basically used to monitor the database instance. By default, we have a profile set which gonna expire the user password after 180 days. So once after 180 days the password is expired, you're gonna get a metric collection error for it in the cloud control. So just change the password, and again the target database instance status will be green. It's a small quiz. It's not a quiz, but the summary of my webinar in form of quiz. I'll just solve it for you. The first one says EM12C provides a standardized monitoring solution for both It's our infrastructure stack as well as our application stack. The increased operational efficiency by automating the workflow of administration groups. We have studied administration groups, we create AGs, and everything is being automated. We need not have to do all the changes for a single target. Proper planning and proper planning of standard and operational procedure. EM provides a significant benefit to administrators by enabling the last topic, guys, we studied incident manager by enabling events, incident problems through rule sets. So actually, the letters written in the brackets, they are the answers. This is all I'm done with my today's presentation. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, you can always send an email to the North India chapter email address, which is aioug.nic@gmail.com, or you can put your questions or suggestions on our Facebook page of AIOUG North India chapter. We're gonna answer them over there. Aman, are you there?
Yes, Deepak, I'm here, and I believe you are done with the presentation, and it was a very informative presentation. I hope anyone who is going to watch the presentation broadcast as well as going to see the recording over the YouTube channel of ours, he or she is going to find it informative. So I believe you've already shared the email address, Deepak. I'll just repeat it for everyone one more time. It is aioug.nic at gmail.com. And you can actually post us the questions even on our Facebook page, which is going to be quite easy. Just facebook.com. You can actually search for AIOG North India chapter. And you can even send us the questions on our AIOUG email ID, that is ni.chapter@aioug.org. So these are going to be the details, and one thing which is very important to mention, besides the monthly events of the chapters which are happening all over the India, we do have the annual event of AIOUG happening in the month of November, and that particular event is called Sangam. The Sangam event is basically an event which happens on an annual basis, and that event is going to be a 2-day event which is going to be there in terms of technology uh, events, in terms of the entire tracks of Oracle technologies like database or applications and so forth. So this event is basically very, very good to attend, because this is going to be a showcase of the technology, and there will be speakers from all over the India as well as from outside India, including Oracle staff as well as non-Oracle speakers. So definitely it is going to be worth of your time. It is actually going to be happening in this year, 2015. This is going to be the 7th annual Oracle User Group Conference, and this is going to be happening in the Hyderabad International Convention Center at Hyderabad, India, on Saturday and Sunday, 21st and 22nd of November. So in case you have not noted the details already, or you have not marked the calendar for these dates already, we would very highly recommend you to actually do that. And hopefully we are going to see you at Sangam 15. You can actually search for us on Twitter with the same hashtag Sangam 15. Okay, so with that note, we will be closing this broadcast as well as this webinar. A big thanks to everyone who has attended, and in case you're going to be watching it over the recording at YouTube channel of ours, please make sure that you're going to send us the comments in the comment section as well as you like the page. So signing off, everyone. Thanks a lot.